Today's ASMR reading is on, what do you call this? VRC face tracking's wiki page on the MetaQuest Pro eye tracking and face tracking setup. There's a couple different modules. I'll try to remember to timestamp these later just so that it's more useful for you. But starting out, so the MetaQuest Pro. The MetaQuest Pro provides eye and gaze tracking, detailed eye expression tracking, and face tracking. All the face and eye tracking hardware is internal to the device. No additional hardware setup is required. All eye and face tracking data is accessed via Meta's Face and Eye OpenXR extensions. There is currently no way for VRCFT to simultaneously extract data from the headset and send eye and face tracking to the Quest version of VRChat. So the following steps are for PCVR only. Previously, a beta version of the native VRChat client or Quest client included built-in eye tracking support without the need for VRC face tracking. This version is discontinued and no longer available. So why is this setup required? The Quest Pro provides developers with both eye and face tracking data from a single contained device, making it easy for native Quest developers to incorporate. However, it only has been accessible through Meta Oculus OpenXR extensions, meaning there must be an OpenXR application using the Oculus runtime somewhere. The difficulty of the setup process depends on the desired PCVR connection method. Danger. MetaQuest Pro face tracking is susceptible to moisture damage. Learn more. There is a link to another article. I may read this in the future. Setup. The basic Quest Pro setup flow. Number 1. Enable eye and face tracking on the headset. Number 2. Complete setup for the desired PCVR connection method. Number 3. Install the corresponding VRCFT module. The Quest Pro currently has 5 readily available face tracking compatible PCVR connection methods, listed in no particular order. Oculus Link, AirLink, ALXVR, ALVR, Virtual Desktop, and SteamLink. Oculus Link AirLink is Meta's own PCVR streaming solution and is generally straightforward to set up. The PCVR part, not the face tracking part. And network stable, but also limited customization. ALXVR, ALVR are open source projects and thus have many features and customization in the PCVR connection as compared to AirLink, but may also have more bugs, quirks, and generally be harder to use. Virtual Desktop is commonly seen as quote best end quote PCVR streaming solution, but it is not free, unlike all the other options. SteamLink is Valve's free PCVR streaming solution, meant specifically for Quest headsets while using SteamVR. If you need recommendation for what to use for PCVR streaming, if you don't want to spend the money and want to connect wirelessly, you should use SteamLink, as that's the easiest and most straightforward setup. If you don't mind spending the money, you should use Virtual Desktop for ease of use and additional features. If you must use a wired USB connection, you should start with Oculus Link AirLink. With any option, the user is expected to have a VR PC and the Quest Pro on the same network, with the PC ideally connected to the network via Ethernet cable for wireless PCVR, or Quest Pro connected to the PC with a high-quality USB 3.0 plus cable for quote wired end quote PCVR, Virtual Desktop, and SteamLink excluded. You can learn more about improving your Quest PCVR streaming experience with many guides available online. Enable eye and face tracking on the headset. Number 1. Open the settings in your Quest Pro headset and navigate to, quote, movement settings, end quote. Number 2. Select the, quote, natural face expressions, end quote tab on the left. Then enable natural face expressions. Number 3. Select, quote, eye tracking, end quote tab on the left. Then enable eye tracking. If you haven't already, calibrate your your eye tracking. There is then a photo from the MetaQuest Pro settings, and it indicates that eye tracking is enabled. You also want to make sure that pause eye tracking, for whatever reason, is not paused. If it is, I don't know why you do that, but just don't. Okay, so MetaQuest link, AirLink setup. There is a video linked on this article by Ninga. It says prefer video. Community member Ninga has graciously created another tutorial video for the Quest Pro and VRCFT 5.0 Plus that goes over the entire setup procedure, including the VRCFT module installation for the MetaQuest, formerly Oculus Link AirLink module, Quest Pro OpenXR. Info, developer mode is only required if using MetaQuest Link AirLink. So number 1, make sure your headset has eye and face tracking enabled. Number 2, create a developer account and enable developer mode. Set up a developer MetaQuest account. A developer account is still necessary as eye and face tracking data over MetaQuest Link toggles are still in the developer settings of MetaQuest Link PC application. It is rather trivial to apply for, and there is no check for being a, quote, real organization, quote. Install the Meta Horizon, formerly Oculus, and MetaQuest app on the mobile device, if not already, and log in with your developer MetaQuest account. Register your headset in the app. In the MetaQuest Horizon mobile app, tap menu at the bottom right, then Devices, select your MetaQuest Pro, then go Settings, Developer Mode, and set the developer mode switch to enabled. Reboot the headset after enabling developer mode. This setting was formerly called developer mode in software versions before v60, but became debug mode a few cycles and is now back to developer mode. There are then screenshots from the app showing you where to go and enable developer mode or developer settings. 3. You need to install and start the MetaQuest Link PC application, if not already. Follow setup instructions for logging in with the same developer account used on the mobile device to enable developer mode on the headset and adding your Quest Pro to devices. In the MetaQuest PC app, click on Settings in the left sidebar, then General tab, turn on Unknown Sources, and set the OpenXR runtime to MetaQuest Link. Danger: set the OpenXR runtime to MetaQuest Link. Do not forget to do this step. Number 6, navigate to the Beta tab, enable the developer runtime feature, eye tracking over MetaQuest Link, and natural face expressions over MetaQuest Link. Note that the pass-through over MetaQuest Link option may cause issues unless you are making or using PCVR apps that use the MetaQuest pass-through. You should just leave this disabled. Enable public test channel only if you know that you want to use some feature fix in the latest public test channel beta software. Generally, it is better to stay off the channel. My tracker is like messed up. Wow. Let me fix that. It's not nearly as bad then. Still looks like I'm propped up, mainly because I'm on a cushion, unless I went like this, but still. God, it looks silly. Okay, so continuing. If you do not see these options, you're not logged into a Meta Developer Quest account. You may need to refresh your login. And it's a screenshot showing those settings enabled. Number 7, proceed to modules for compatible modules to use with Link and AirLink. In this case, for Link and AirLink, it's the OpenXR runtime for MetaQuest Pro, or more recently, due to some issues, you may need to use, what is it called? You might need to use, what is it? Let me put that there. You might have to use, I want to lock it, but my thing's not there it goes. You might have to use the stuff for ALXVR local due to some weird bugs because Link, in my opinion, is not that great and just has some weird issues. Okay. ALXVR setup. Using ALXVR will require you to sideload an app. Make sure you have eye and face tracking enabled. Number 2, download and install the latest ALXVR client and server from the ALXVR repository nightly. If this is your first time, follow the usage guide and Android-specific client installation instructions. Install the ALXVR remote module from VRC face tracking module repository. Open the ALX module config.johnson found in the installed module directory. You may need to navigate to C users username app data local packages 96B A052F-9048-86C4-A201 to E4AE047_D7RC4 RCQ4VXGHZ0R. Local cache roaming VRC face tracking to find the module directory and configuration. Hyperlink then to learn more about the ALXVR module configuration options. In ALXVR config options, Johnson, the remote config setting, select client IP address to the headset's IP. This can be found in the ALXVR or ALVR server dashboard. If the client is being run on the same host as the server, like Windows, use local IP default 127.0.0.1 and set the server to TCP. Restart VRCFT to initialize ALXVR remote module with the updated configuration. ALVR setup. Make sure your headset has eye and face tracking enabled. Install the ALVR streamer on the PC and ALVR client on the Quest Pro if you have not already. Follow the ALVR install instructions if this is your first time using it. Launch ALVR streamer and set eye and face tracking to VRC face tracking. Start the client on the Quest Pro and connect. Install ALVR module from the VRC face tracking module repository. Virtual desktop setup. It's what I use personally. This following setup assumes virtual desktop has already been purchased from the Quest store, and the headset and virtual desktop streamer PC side apps have also been installed. Please refer to virtual desktop's built-in setup instructions to get started when using virtual desktop. Number 1, make sure you've got eye and face tracking enabled on the headset. In virtual desktop app on the headset, go to streaming tab and enable the option forward face tracking or forward tracking data to PC. Make sure to click on yes in the pop-up. Number 2 or 3, start virtual desktop streamer if you've not already and establish the headset connection to your PC. Number 4, proceed to modules for compatible modules to use a virtual desktop. To let the VRC or virtual desktop VRCFT module initialize, make sure to start VRCFT with the virtual desktop module installed after you start virtual desktop streamer program on the PC. SteamLink. Danger, do not change the OSC port in the VRC face tracking program. Changing either of the input or the output port to 9015 will cause problems and nothing will work. Those VRC face tracking settings are communication with VRChat, not SteamLink. 0, follow Valve's official SteamLink instructions for SteamLink, or setup instructions. Number 1, make sure your headset has eye and face tracking enabled. Number 2, once connected to SteamVR, open the SteamVR menu, open VR setting and enable advanced settings by moving the toggle to show in the bottom left. You can also access the same settings in the desktop SteamVR devices window. Navigate to the SteamVR or settings tab for SteamLink and enable the following. Enable OSC. Share eye tracking data to other apps on this PC. Share face tracking data to other apps from this PC via OSC. Set the OSC output port and Steam settings to 9015 Alt. Do not adjust the port setting in VRC face tracking settings. Proceed to modules for the module to use with SteamLink. and it repeats the same warning, like danger, do not change the output port to 9015 SteamLink, or not SteamLink, VRCFT itself. If you do that, everything will just like shut itself. Modules. There are currently 6 different modules for VRCFT that can be used with the Quest Pro. The links are to the module source repositories for those interested in contributing and improving the modules. All modules are readily available for installation via the VRC face tracking built-in module registry. Learn how to install modules. So if you're wanting to use it with AirLink, you have options for Quest Pro, OpenXR, and ALXVR. You must be using VRCFT version 5.2.3.0 with OpenXR. If you're using ALXVR, you need to use the ALXVR remote module. If you're using ALVR, you'll use the ALVR module. If you're using virtual desktop, you need to use the virtual desktop module. ALXVR local module can be used for VRCFT instead of virtual desktop if VDXR is set to active runtime. If you're using SteamLink, you'll need to use the SteamLink VRCFT module. Tips and tricks. The following section contains various potentially useful but completely optional instructions. I'm not going to read all these just because, in my opinion, it's like the type of thing that you'll go and find if you need to. There's a thing about using SideQuest to sideload Quest apps. So the reason that you might do that is maybe you don't have like great internet or something. I don't know. Align play spaces with SteamVR Lighthouse Distract devices. I would recommend going through this, like if you're using 5 trackers like me or Index Knuckles. That way you can line your stuff up and you can still use it how you would normally expect. Using Index Knuckles with the Quest Pro via Virtual Desktop, or with AirLink, or ALVR, ALXR. There's a number of troubleshooting things in here. Again, this is the type of thing that I would recommend reading or asking in their Discord if you're having problems. Same also with their general problems. As again, anyways, this article was read from the VRChat face tracking wiki. This is the main area for face tracking modules and setup, not just for the Quest Pro, but other headsets as well, like the HTC Vive Pro I, HTC Vive Focus 3, HTC Vive Focus 3, or Focus Vision, HTC XR Elite, I think various like Varo something headsets, the Pimax headsets as well. So the information's all pretty useful. Same also stuff in their Discord as well. More information can be found from the article itself, which I did link below, including the Discord server. But that's it for right now. As always, if there's any suggestions or requests for stuff that I may read in the future, either if it is just like this, ASMR, or blabbling stuff, feel free to shoot a comment, or if you see me somewhere in a community, let me know and I'll be open to it.